Life ends, and another erased without a trace. Have you ever wondered how a person feels when they know their life is about to end? For Samuel Little, this question carried no weight. It was just a game, a cruel game, one he repeated 93 times. But this isn't just a story about a serial killer. It's a story about a system that failed to protect the innocent. The beginning. In 1940, in a poor neighborhood in Georgia, Samuel Little was born. His life was far from ordinary. His mother, rumored to have worked in questionable places, may have instilled in him a harsh view of women. He saw them as nothing more than the root of his own mother's failures. But is a person born a killer? Or is it the circumstances that create the monster? For Little, it seemed the path to crime was laid out for him. From a petty criminal to a serial killer. In his youth, Little was just an ordinary man with a record full of arrests for theft and assault. But in the 1970s, he became something else, a monster. Driving through American states, he hunted his prey among the forgotten souls, those no one noticed. What set Little apart? He had his own distinct style. He didn't need a gun or a knife, just his hands. He once said, "Strangling, that's what I loved." For him, killing wasn't just an act, it was an experience. His hands, which delivered death, symbolized ultimate power to him. His forgotten victims. Women on the fringes of society, prostitutes, drug addicts, and the homeless. Why did he choose them? Because he knew no one would look for them. Imagine yourself in their place. A dark night, a man approaching kindly, smiling as if offering safety. But behind that smile lurked death. To the world, their stories were incomplete. Their lives ended in silence, and their names were barely mentioned in the news. Escaping justice. Samuel Little wasn't a genius, but he knew how to exploit loopholes. Dozens of arrests, yet he was never linked to any murder. In 1984, he was charged with 2 murders, but walked free due to lack of evidence. He stood in court smiling, confident the world would never uncover his truth. Finally captured. In 2012, everything changed. DNA technology linked him to 3 murders. When confronted by the police, he denied it. But after days of interrogation, he confessed to everything. And these weren't just a few confessions. He admitted to 93 murders. In prison, Little spent his time sketching portraits of his victims. Every face, every feature, rendered with painstaking detail. Each memory was etched into his mind. Each woman was engraved in his memory. Little said, "I can still see them before me now." This was the most chilling aspect of his story. To him, these spirits weren't just sketches. They were real in his eyes. Some of these women remain unidentified to this day. Their lives ended, but their faces remain as silent witnesses to their killer's cruelty. How did it take over? 40 years to catch him. How did no one even realize he was a killer? Why were their cries for help unheard? Perhaps this was the greater crime. We lost 93 lives because of him. In 2020, Samuel Little died at the age of 80. His life ended, but his gruesome legacy remains. He is remembered today as the deadliest serial killer in American history. But behind every number, there is a human, a soul, a memory we must never forget. 93 victims, 93 unfinished stories. We must never forget them. I always find that behind every killer or criminal lies a dark past. Is that an excuse? In my opinion, there's no justification for taking a human life, no matter how harsh the past may be. If this story intrigued you, share your thoughts. Have you heard of Samuel Little before? What crimes would you like us to discuss in the future? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who care about uncovering the truth. Bye.